Hi there everyone, so for this lesson we're talking about these kind of Hendrix style of playing, and I'm just going to give you a quick starting line basically, so something just to get you started in this style of playing, and what we're going to be talking about is combining a chord and a lick. Okay, so when you're listening to a Hendrix track, you're often hearing, underneath all these basic kind of chord shapes, there's something else going on. There's melodies and there's licks. And actually there's a fairly simple technique to get you doing that, which we're going to start looking at today. So I'm going to assume you know this bar chord shape. So I'm playing, it's called an A-shaped bar chord. So what we've got is our root note on the A string. I'm playing a C here, okay, so 3rd fret on the A string. And I'm doing it like this. I'm just flattening my 3rd finger or 4th finger. And I'm just getting 4 strings, A string, D string, G string and B string. And that's what we do. We can see it like this. Some players play it like that. I prefer the kind of Jimmy Page style, kind of casual approach to that. But do make sure they're all nice and clear. So I'm going to assume you know that chord shape. That's the one we're going to be using. And we're going to be using also our pentatonic shape 1. Okay, so we're going to be using our shape 1 in what you might think of as A minor. Okay, except our root note for it in relation to this chord is going to be the C. Okay, and by simply taking that shape from this root note, this C, we get a C major pentatonic. Okay, so we've got our pentatonic shape 1 and we've got this bar chord shape, and the idea here, the theory is that those two go together. So whenever you play that bar chord shape, wherever it is, if it's up on E, or if it's up on F or G or D or B flat, wherever it is, I'm on C, your pentatonic shape 1 is going to be right next door. So if you imagine where your little finger is or your 3rd finger is, that now becomes your 1st finger, and all this part of the fretboard here is your pentatonic shape 1. Okay, and that's no matter where it is. That's the brilliance of this idea, right? If I was up on D, my shape 1, I'm just gonna, there's my shape, there's my bar chord. Where my little finger is at the moment, I'm going to move that to my 1st finger, so I'm in shape. And there we have it. So, it always goes together, okay? And that really that's the idea, that's the principle. We can do that with loads of chords, but we're just going to start that with this one. If I'm up on F, same thing, B flat. And you can hear, with Jimi Hendrix playing through some of his songs, he's using these chord shapes. And that's how it's so effortless, because he's just kind of memorized this concept that with that chord we can play these licks or this scale, and it will sound great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a very quick example of this technique, which there's a tab for, and I want you to learn, and then really just try and come up with some of your own ideas. Okay, so the 2 chords we're going to be playing from a C major going up to an F major. Now I want you to use the same chord shape, okay, because obviously that's the one we're using for this principle. So we're going from C up to F, okay, and the lick's going to sound something like this. Okay, so that's the lick, and literally we can just quickly, what we were doing now it's all on the tab, is there is the C. I'm then moving up to my pentatonic shape 1, which will relate to that. And I'm playing, my first finger is on the 5th fret of both the B and the G string. And what I'm doing is I'm hammering on to the 7th fret of the G string, leaving the B string as the 5th fret. Coming back to those two notes, and then doing the same thing on the 2 strings above. Okay? A very typical Hendrix-esque sound because we're using double notes. So I'm on the G and the B string, and then I'm on the D and the G string doing the same idea. Again, check out the tab. When I go up to the F, suddenly my pentatonic shape 1 moves up with me. And what I do is I slide from the F note, take my 3rd finger. So my 1st finger starts on the F, which is up on the 8th fret. Then I slide from the 10th fret to the 12th, sliding me into my pentatonic shape. And then I do a double note, 1st finger on the 10th fret, which is on the D and the G string. And I just hold that there. And really it's as simple as that. Okay, so it's lots of double hits, so 2 strings at the same time. It keeps it nice and chord-y, as it were. So it keeps it kind of rhythmical sounding, rather than just going off and just doing a quick solo, you know. In pentatonic shape 1, that's fine, but we want to keep it as rhythmical as possible. So I would stick to those kind of concepts. So get those ones learned, have a little go yourself, and just, you know, have a play around with this technique.